The Honeywell Evaporative Air Cooler, the 10-litre TC10PE. Let's get into it. None of this messing around today. Can I request a sword so I can dramatically open these? That'd be much more interesting. Full on samurai mode. Whoa! Gonna have to use the floor. Hopefully this one comes out just as easy as the other one did. Here we go. One foul swoop. Oh! God, that's satisfying. Just come straight out. Here it is. The Honeywell TC10PE, which is the 10-litre evaporative air cooler. Now you may remember we did a 7.5 evaporative air cooler not so long ago. This is the 10-litre. There's a remote somewhere though. Where's the remote? Oh, it's back here. I found it. It's just here, look. Nice little remote storage spot. Lovely. I always like it when a product has little nooks and crannies where you can sort of store things and put stuff. It's all very nice. So before I plug it in and we have a look at its controls up here and we get a bit of water in it, I'll give you just a quick rundown of all the various features and different things that this will do. So as I mentioned, it's obviously a 3-in-1. This is a 10-litre capacity, so it will take 10 litres of water, which will enable this thing to run for somewhere between 2 and 10 hours. It just depends on what setting you're using, how much of it you're using. Of course though, you can top it up whenever you like. There's a nice little drawback here, which I'll show you later, of how you can top up the water if you need to. You can also see its water level at the front here. They also run on a nice low power consumption, between 50 and 120 watts, depending on, again, which of the settings you're using, which equates to about 3p an hour. So it's dead cheap to run, much cheaper to run than something like an air conditioning unit, and will give a similar effect. You won't get the icy crisp air with these, but you do get a really nice cooling effect. So these are great for rooms for up to 120 square feet. It has 330 cubic meters of airflow. I think, is that a lot? I don't know. Just shrug. It produces air, and a lot of it. It has a 3-speed fan as well, so you've got 3 different fan speeds. If you want a nice little breeze, you can have that. But if you want a bit more of a breeze, you can also have that. If you want a lot of breeze, you can have that as well. Is it louves? Louves? Oscillating flaps? Louvers. Wanted to be French. Louvre. We have oscillating louvers on the front here. You've got a couple of different ones to change the airflow. You've got the internal ones, which will go from left to right, and you've got the sort of the top ones, as you can see here, which will go up and down. They're super light. It's about 5 kilograms with no water in. I assume that goes up to about 15 kilograms if you've got all the water in. So they're really easy to move around. You've got a nice little handle back here as well. In case you want to pick it up, you can just pick it up from there. Nice and simple. And of course, you've got the wheels on the bottom as well, so you can get it scooting around your room as much as you like. So as I mentioned, these are evaporative air coolers. So they work a little bit differently to something like an air conditioning unit, which will use a refrigerant to cool the air, which pumps out that nice icy cold air. These use evaporation, which is very similar to the breeze you would feel when you're stood next to the ocean, because the breeze is effectively taking some of that water off the ocean and blowing it at you, giving you a nice cool water vapory air. And the way in which that works is, once you fill up the water on the bottom here, the unit will take the water to the top and it will trickle it down a mesh in the back here, which is that. Looks a bit like cardboard, so don't throw that out, but it will trickle all the way down this. As the air goes through, it evaporates through the machine, taking that hot air with it, and kicks it out the front as a nice, cool, refreshing, ocean-feeling breeze. And that's why it's super energy efficient, because it doesn't have to use any condenser coils. It is literally just using a natural process of evaporation. Whenever you use one of these, just make sure that you allow this to dry. The best way to do that is just to turn off the water mode and just let the air go through it for about 15 minutes once you've finished with it. And also make sure you take the water out as well. You don't want to leave any stagnant water in there. So the best place to put these when you use them is in front of a natural air source. So whether you've just got the door open or in front of a window, this will take that air from outside and fire it around your house. So you get a really nice, consistent, fresh air coming around. And strangely enough, the warmer it is outside, the better these do, because obviously they're using that evaporation technique. So that water is taking that heat out of the air and firing it through. So the warmer it is, the better these actually work. So if it's a nice hot day and you don't got an air conditioner. So before we plug this in, and I'll show you it up and running, let me just show you where the water goes in first. So when you turn it around, you've got a nice little, it even says water fill door. You pull that out and you pour the water straight into that little tray that will then fill up the inside. And of course you do have that water indicator on the front. But when it comes to emptying it, make sure you do this either outside or on something you don't mind getting wet, because it does come out of the bottom down here. You have to take out this little bung, and the water would drain out of there. So like I said, best place to do it is probably just outside in the patio or something. So let's get this thing plugged in and turned on. So we'll turn it on using its remote. Now all the features that are on the remote are also on the top of the unit, so you can turn it on. Now the inside little louvers in here are oscillating. So when you press the one that has the 2 arrows, they will start to move from side to side. Now the ones on the front are manual, so you can angle these ones a little bit more if you want the air firing straight at you or in a certain part of the room, but the ones inside will move themselves. You've also got the fan speeds. Now, as I mentioned, there are 3. This is on fan speed 1, that's 2, and that's 3. You can feel the air coming out there. And then you've also got the, what looks like a snowflake, which starts the whole water going through process. That's the bit which will really start to kick out the cold air for you. Let's get some water in and feel the nice ocean cool breeze. It's a little bit warm in here. As you may have seen in some of the other videos, I'm highly skilled when it comes to pouring water into things. So all you do, open up the water refill drawer and you pour straight on into there. I'm not left-handed though, so this could go terribly. So water goes straight into this section here and it will trickle on into the unit. Close that off, and we should see on the front how much water is in it, which you can see down here. It's at its minimal line just down here. We're gonna turn this on. This is not my chest hair sticking up top of my top. I've added a wind thing to my microphone for you so it doesn't get too noisy. Let's turn it on. Right, we're gonna turn on the water coming through now. See how it feels. So you should be able to hear, when you're actually stood next to it, the functionality starting to work. We're gonna whack it up all the way on the top as well. So with these meshes, when you first start the unit, you might smell something unusual. That's just the water and its first passes through the cardboardy mesh at the back. Don't worry about it. It eventually will clear away and it will go. But I can definitely feel a nice cool breeze with this. Once that water starts going through and you really get to feel that water vapor. Oh, it is like standing at the side of the ocean. Cameraman, can you feel it?
Can feel it. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, they're good. I can definitely see it as a really good alternative to using an air conditioner. Much cheaper to run, much simpler to run. It's just a case of sticking some water in it and off you go. It's a lot lighter, a lot easier to move around, and it does produce a very, very nice breeze. And like I said, if it's really warm outside, open the door. Sounds counterintuitive, you don't want to let the heat in, but this thing will suck that heat through using the water, gets rid of that heat via evaporation, and then pushes out that nice, cool, sort of humidified, water vapored air. It actually feels really nice. Could probably sit in front of this for a while. That was a good time, wasn't it? It's a fire! It's a fire! Oh no! I'm gonna turn this off. The Honeywell 10-litre evaporative air cooler, the TC10PE. It's actually quite fun to say, TC10PE. Available now. Grab yours from the link down in the description or in the comments. They're actually really, really good. They're genuinely really good alternatives if you don't want to fork out the money for an aircon, or you just want something that's a little bit simpler, a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to use. So if this video was helpful, please leave a like rating and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment in. Do you own one of these? Do you have an evaporative air cooler? If you do, which one do you have? Let us know and we'll get back to you with any questions if you have them too. Thank you very, very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.